I think there are a lot of different ways to talk about PBM reform, of course. It's a very big topic. And so I think for us, what we've tried to do is kind of break it down into the top kind of 3 or 4 component parts that are most relevant to our patient population. A few years ago, the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, was looking for comment from patient community on kind of how certain PBM policies impact patients. We've worked with a lot of other patient groups, including those here, on really supporting the broader umbrella of PBM reform. So really saying transparency, delinking fees is another one, banning spread pricing. The burden of managing prior auth and step therapy is very intense, that a lot of practices are having to hire office staff just to manage through prior auth and step therapy. The rate of prior auths and step edits are growing. And it's not just that more drugs are getting caught up in the step therapy process, it's the number of step edits that are required. So sometimes it can be 2, 3, even more.
Our patients are often caught in the middle. What we've seen, one of the things we've talked about a lot with PBM reform has been first and foremost spread pricing, but almost as an example of the problem rather than a reflection of the whole problem. We think spread pricing is important, but really connect it more broadly to delinking the drug price with the compensation that the PBM gets. And so we think that's a way to address this broader problem, address the spread pricing and other kind of similar challenges. And then also, we would encourage Congress to think about how do you pass along all the savings that PBMs negotiate that, in a more transparent system. How do you pass that along to patients so that, patients who struggle to access their care because of the costs are actually able to experience that savings, then have better time accessing the care that they need.
A lot of our focus has been on things like utilization management and the challenges that patients face when it comes to whether it's prior auth, whether it's step therapy. And those challenges that create barriers to the medications people need. So it comes down to just to what's best for the patient. And that flows into things like step therapy and choice of medication. And on those issues, and this is one of the big concerns that we have, is no 2 patients are exactly alike. We have a lot of treatments in the pipeline, and we're expecting with that promise, with the opportunity to have new therapies on the market, and the ones that are existing, great opportunities to treat the disease. And we're very, very concerned about what the access part looks like. Are people going to have access to these breakthrough medications? Are they going to have to step through old therapies to get to them? And we saw that right out of the gate, just when we've had more recent, in the last 5 years, we have 2 new medications on the market. And there were requirements that you have to fail on standard of care before you can get to one of these medications. And that creates real life problems in terms of outcomes.